This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor. G'day and thanks for listening to or watching the Whine and Cheese of the Metaverse show. I'm BEN68 here with my co-host Morecheeese for episode number 83, recording on Friday the 5th of May for Cheese, which is Saturday the 6th for me.
Today we talked Upland in all its splendor and looked into the Metaverse articles, taking a deep dive into POAPS.
Yes, so get ready for our particular brand of crap. And I fucked that up, so let me just do that bit again. Yes, so get ready for our particular brand of crap and dive yourself on into the latest shitty episode of
The worst show ever. I love that.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Cheese.
One is a wanker, one's like it stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
wah, wah, wah.
Hello and welcome to Whine and Cheese and the Metaverses show. I messed up my joke. Morecheeese here, episode 83. I'm here with BEN68. How you doing, Ben?
We're here. And just being here is half the battle sometimes.
That's true.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes. Sippy cups. Yeah, no, doing okay. But as I think I mentioned in the UD podcast, a bit out of touch with everything that's got going on, but luckily you've got your finger well and truly on the pulse, your fingers in the pies. Etc. Now we're going to kick off with some crypto stuff. I don't know, Cheese, were you aware that the XRP Ripple had been going through a big scare in relation to SEC investigations?
No, I haven't.
So there's a big thing where, is it a security? Is it not a security? There's people, there was a big heap of fight associated with it. But it appears, according to this headline, Ripple is going to win big as Judge Torres ruled against SEC.
Wow.
This question posed here, will the Ripple price explode to $1? Report.
What is it now?
I've got that here. Let's have a look. Now we're down to
47 cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have been up over $1 before, $1.50. I grabbed a bag way back in 2018, I think it was.
Oh wow.
And I tapped mine out in the pump here somewhere. Since in my dollar cost averaging in that when we were under 1 trillion market cap, when I was dollar cost averaging, I picked up a little bag, but it was just for pure speculation. Wait and see, because I kind of knew this was brewing. But yes, says here, Ripple's chances against the SEC have been further reiterated as positive based on new evidence provided by attorney Jeremy Hogan. The likely positive verdict can push the price of XRP beyond the key resistance level of $1. Of course, not financial advice. Do your own research. Take everything with a grain of salt. Now, they're saying resistance level of $1. You're a chart analyst. Does that seem fair? I don't see any resistance there at $1. $1 is always a psychological resistance level. All right. Anything jumping out at you there?
This is for the week?
That's the weekly. I'll go to the monthly. Maybe that'll show a better picture. Again.
Well, it might fill the gap.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like a Head and Shoulders, which is for me a bad thing. I like a reverse Head and Shoulders.
Yep.
But as long as it stays above the resistance, like Yeah, it's too soon to see. We
Yeah,
have
I
to
think
see what it
that's
does next.
the kind of historical resistance is more in that 50 to 60 cent range.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, well, that kind of news can only help
Yeah.
things.
Pump that.
Yes. While
Wow.
ruling for the Ripple Labs legal brawl with the US SEC is expected to be announced soon, Attorney
Now,
Jeremy Hogan has dropped an interesting update on a pertinent issue involving the market regulator.
what did the SEC have against Ripple?
Oh, don't quote me on that one because I never did much research into it. Let's have a look. It might say it here. On Twitter, Hogan highlighted that Judge Torres previously rendered a verdict against the SEC in a matter involving mining firm Rio Tinto, blah, 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 blah. Jeremy Hogan here has tweeted, I was just reminded of a case in which Judge Torres ruled against the SEC on a key issue. The SEC appealed and the appellate court upheld Judge Torres. Just don't ask how long the whole process took. And I'll have to go to grandpa size to read that. He's highlighted here. What is he highlighted? The SEC asked Judge Torres to reconsider her ruling in light of italics Lorenzo, but Judge Torres declined to do so. She explained that while Lorenzo made clear that dissemination of false information provides a basis for scheme liability. It's all lawyer jargon. I don't know. It's a tricky one. Attorney Hogan supplied a page from Morrison Forrester. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, none of that kind of stuff really matters to me. Like I said, I didn't dive in too heavily.
Yeah.
But I am having a little speculative gamble there. Implications of a possible victory. Yeah, this is what's pertinent to me, at least. A possible victory for Ripple against the SEC could have significant implications for the crypto industry. Consequently, a favorable ruling for Ripple could result in increased clarity for the cryptocurrency industry. Yeah, obviously, if the SEC was going to rule against Ripple, that would have a knock-on effect on a wide swathe of other kind of shitty coins.
Yeah.
And the opposite is true too. So, yeah, this could help establish clearer guidelines and rules for companies and individuals to follow when dealing with digital assets. You know, it's what is the thing is, you know, is it an asset? Is it a, you know, they always say, is it a this? Is it a security? Is it a this? Is it a that? So additionally, a victory for Ripple could lead to a more relaxed regulatory environment for digital assets. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Also, it could provide more clarity on what can constitute security in the context of cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's what's clearly lacking.
Oh, here it goes. The SEC sued Ripple Labs for allegedly marketing unregistered securities.
Yeah, which is pretty open-ended.
Well, I can't access Ripple even from my Kraken.
Interesting. Yeah, so you can imagine if the SEC was to win this case, it would have huge implications for the wider cryptocurrency market. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see. And of course, here's the speculation. Will XRP price increase to $1 following Ripple's victory? The outcome of the court case between Ripple and SEC may have an effect on the cost of Ripple, you think? If Ripple wins the case, it could potentially result in increased adoption and demand for XRP, which could lead to a rise in its price.
So it might be more available in other places, and usually, like, the tide lifts all. So this might actually even raise a few other cryptos, which is always nice.
Oh, undoubtedly it will. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But yes, we kind of looked at the Ripple price, and what I always kind of keep my finger or my eye on is just the global market cap. We're still well and truly above 1 trillion. Now I think in the UDU podcast, we said we're almost at 1.2. We're well and truly over that now, 1.214 trillion. So that's nice and healthy there.
Nice.
I have to wait and see. Yeah, my dollar cost average when we go under the 1 trillion. That's kind of my mental line. Other than that,
that's pretty cool.
I have to wait and see. Right, what's been happening in Upland news, Cheese? Like I said, I sat on the couch last night and did a little bit of clickety clicking in Upland General, kind of laughing to myself at all the OGs being butthurt about the collection reveal. Like, come on, people, you should know by now. Don't chase the FOMO dragon. Only going to get wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, you know that they're not going to go for the usual stuff, but at the same time, like, there were a few locations that I was just really disappointed. Like, I didn't really go for anything in particular except for Bread Street because, like, I didn't want to really like FOMO into anything, and you know, I was able to get 2 places there, so I'm happy. But like, I heard that they missed out on Whitehall, Downing Street, Strand, Holmwell, St. James.
But it cannot be. It cannot be that they missed out on those. It has to be a deliberate decision to avoid those. This is a repeated pattern of behavior where they, as you said, they just do not go for the most obvious places. So maybe it's because those places, you know, if you think big picture and long term, those kind of well-known, well-established places, they will always have marketability in their own right.
Yes.
So maybe they're trying to mix it up, you know.
So
give
they could have
to lesser known,
like the value spread out.
Yes, but who knows? I mean, one of the things I learned quite a while ago is to not to ask too many why questions, because you just get yourself all sorts of frazzled and
kerfuffled.
Yes. Yes.
Well, other than that, like I think it was a pretty good release. Like I didn't get any lag or anything. I don't know. It was expensive, but that was to be, you know.
Yes, it was. I minted 3 properties in London, and guess what? All 3 were in my collection that I wanted. So that's the Londoner collection. And I bought 4 properties from the secondary market in Birmingham. 3 of those go into my whatever the generic Birmingham collection is, and one of them happened to be in, I think it's Ladywood or something. That happens to be a
Ladywood.
Not an exclusive. What's between stand and an exclusive?
Rare?
The purple ones?
Oh, purple.
Gosh, how many years have I been playing this game and I still don't know? Whatever the purple is.
Oh, wow. Wait, let me go to announcements.
Not a standard, not exclusive. Somebody listening along is going to be clawing their face again. Yes. So I got one there. I'll just flip that for USD, I think. I'm on a bit of a USD. Limited. That's it.
Limited.
Yes, I'm on a bit of a USD flipping rampage at the moment.
Well, I accidentally got into Castle Baynard because the lines were so crazy. I actually thought I was getting into bread. Yep. I was like, oh man, and I was so bummed about it. And then I got into bread, and it was a pleasant mistake.
Yes. Now you're usually pretty good on because I didn't get up for the collection reveal. I didn't play into any of that game. Oh, you didn't? Because I was going to say you were usually pretty good at gobbling up the low hanging fruit.
It was too expensive this time. It's really hard to do that on a tier 1. I did get enough because I only got 1 Castle Baynard, so I was on the lookout for a nicely sized second one to fill the collection, and I found one for like 140k UPX, which was for me like not so bad. So I got a nice chunk of divs on that. So
yes. Yeah, I mean, if you're somebody who's still building your dividends, you kind of really, you just got to go for those collections.
Oh, yeah.
I always look at my dividends. I'm still butthurt about them dropping it straight after I reach 2 million. I would like to get back over the 2 million, but that's when you do the math on it, it's quite a big chunky investment that you got to do for it. So
what if in Genesis week they announced that they're raising it back up because the community pool is like sufficient?
I had this chat in Upland General last night with Pickles. It absolutely blows my mind that there isn't some kind of dividend boost for having a completed structure in the game. Like if you complete a townhouse, you should be able to boost that property's earnings, even if it was like 5% or something.
Yeah, upgrade it. Yeah.
That would completely change how the game is viewed, how the game is played. It would revitalize the Spark market. It would put more demand for the Spark that they can't sell. Like the Spark just sits there unsold. It'd put huge demand for that. It'd breathe life into so many aspects. It's not really going to cost them anything because people are going to buy, sell, trade, and pump the community pool. It just flabbergasts me that here we are. What are we? We're over 2 years in since we got property development.
Yeah.
And the default response is still the utility is you can apply for a Met Adventure. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough. Yeah, sure. And even if you want to say that you can apply for a Met Adventure, I know dozens of people that have an approved Met Adventure. They're waiting for it to open for several months.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, just something tiny like that would just completely change everybody's attitude. I don't know whether it's a logistical thing where they can't code it, or I don't know what the opposition is to that. It just kind of blows my mind.
I know there's people who are willing to kind of like donate their time to helping with the back end.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's in some respects, like, because I'm a kindergarten teacher, right? So I see this all the time where if you, and I've got kids of my own, if you ask a child to do something, they're going to say no, just in spite of their own face. Like, I know with my kids, sometimes they get into when they were little, they'd get into a situation where you could ask them, would you like some ice cream? And they're going to say, no, I mean, yes. So, is it because we're asking for these things that Upland saying, no,
maybe
you will not have what would make perfect sense? I don't know.
You should say at least they're not doing this.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we're going to get some sort of news about building utility for Genesis Week. You raised the question last year in Genesis Week and kind of got fobbed off a bit. You got fluffed around for the answer after the Mexican wave of nobody wanted to answer the question. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, they did say next year, and it's now next year. So
yeah, I mean,
Edan was angry when he said something like, "We have enough stuff coming out. Didn't we do enough?"
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm like, I'm just
Genesis,
asking a question.
Yeah, we're expecting news on, the life token, or what is it, the STEM token.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. That would be good.
So that again, that's putting, well, it's not even putting value on your property, is it? Because you can't sell a property with that on. If you sell a property, well, you can't list a property for sale if you have 3D assets on it.
Yeah, so, I just heard about, I was yesterday's years old when I heard about that.
Yeah, so it's a weird one. It'd be good if you could, that would be very good actually, if you could promote a property for sale and it had all this decor on it and that all automatically transferred over the ownership.
Oh, yeah.
That would be huge.
That's a good idea.
Especially now that we know that, neighborhood ratings and all of that side of things is boosted by decor and yada, yada, yada. So
they also need to make like a storage thing that you can put like in Storage Wars. Like you have this storage thing where you can put the decor that you're not using. Like,
well, it's careful what you wish for. Like Midtown Terrace, like right in front of the Summer Aquatic showroom, I have those two beautiful apartment buildings. And every time there was a structure ornament event, I would always buy 2 apartments worth of stuff to always decorate those 2 keystone properties. Well, now that this whole crate system's a thing, one of those apartments, the apartment fits onto the footprint of the property by the tiniest margin, so I can't even fit a crate on it, so I can no longer decorate that apartment. It sucks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Careful what you wish for there, I guess. But yes, I don't know. I feel like we got wildly off track there with me ranting and raving.
It's a good discussion. It's a good conversation.
Yes. Now, we did see you can now buy Sens or something.
Yes. Yeah.
What's this all about?
I think it's bittersweet. I think the lay person's not really going to need this, you know, you new coming in or someone who doesn't like to really treasure hunt. But for those who really like to treasure hunt and do it a lot, I think it's good. I think somebody did the maths for it and it does work out. And I know currently London is an amazing place to go treasure hunting, apparently, for standards. Not financial advice, but everyone I know that does treasure hunting there has been getting numerous amounts per day of standard chests.
Yes. Well, I can say that we've been asking for a way to buy sends since treasure hunting first came onto the scene. Way, way back in the day when San Francisco was the only city that was vastly unminted and treasure hunting first come online, it was really difficult to even find sends if you wanted to treasure hunt. So that's been talked for ages. But I don't think anybody expected they'd try and sell it for USD. That's a different story.
Well, that's the bittersweet part of it for me. I don't see myself as a person who would utilize this, but I like that it's a way for them to make money. Like, sends aren't vital, right? It's a want basis. It's not a need basis. So it is something that you kind of will get because you want it, not because you need it. And they're making their money off of it. So I see no issue with it.
Yeah, it's basically, if you break it down to Upland being, if you go to the angle of Upland is a mobile first game, it makes perfect sense to have an in-app purchase, a paid in-app purchase that you can use to, you know, boost your gameplay. Wouldn't we love to have an in-app purchase that doubles your treasure hunts? You know, like there's always typical in-app purchases are double your earnings. You know, you buy an in-app purchase, remove ads, and double your earnings. So instead of $2.90 or whatever it is for the standard treasure hunts, well, you get double. Or double your dividend boost. That'd be nice. So yeah, that there is, and that's I'm the same boat. I'm never going to use that because I don't treasure hunt. I'm never going to use that because I don't rarely buy stuff in USD. But yeah, it's good to see some gamification elements creeping into the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, if you don't want to pay that, there are still bots and features out there which shows you your closest sends and this, that, and the other thing.
Those don't work anymore.
There's the Howard Beach one just came back online, I believe.
Oh, really? All right, cool.
Yeah, I saw something come up. Yeah, don't quote me on it, but I believe that's back online.
Good.
All I do is go to the widest view possible and do the two finger up so you get the kind of pan 3D view, and it's pretty easy to see them.
Oh, all right.
You're not jumping to your properties very often, but yeah. I did a quick treasure hunt this morning when I was dropping some logs off in the swimming pool, and I actually got myself a spark chest too, which is very rare. So San Francisco. So
I have a really good web in San Francisco, so I hardly need to go for sands. And I'll always pick up a random San Fran I see for really cheap here and there. But yeah, I can treasure hunt all day without using all of my sends. But for instances like London, when you have a new city and you know you can get spark easier, that's a good instance because no one's going to really have a web there just yet. And if you do, that just means you have a good amount of money you plonked down.
Yeah, I used to have a very extensive web, but I cashed it out because it was, you know, I had 300 and something properties in or and out of Sunset, which is a vast chunk of that, you know, that left side. But I sold out of that when that was all being pumped back when that was a thing. Sunset node. I don't mind selling you my bags at full price. So yes. But what else is happening? Upland. We just talked about they released the exhibitioners.
Oh, yeah.
I can barely talk today, people. Bear with me.
Nah, you're doing fine. they released the exhibitioners
List.
panels and tables and people who will be showing off their stuff.
Now, I was very surprised that there was what was it? Only 8 panelists, or not panel. I'm saying panel. What is it? Booths.
Well, if I'm remembering correctly, the area which I feel like it's going to take place is that long hallway before the lunch area, and then we go into the conference. There's really not. There's a lot of space, but there's not that much space. So I don't think they wanted to really smush people together. And I know like our table is going to have a lot of more than just one stuff. We're going to have like multiple stuff. I know TML's table is going to have multiple stuff. So I guess they just want to give people like enough space to kind of do their thing. Let me share this. So all right, so here we go. Exhibitors, I have to sneeze. Thank you. That's what happens when I don't mute myself. UPX World, Upland Kingdoms, Upland Brews, Real Note LA. I had to sneeze again. Viva Las Upland, the X NFT. I haven't heard of that. Oh, the X. All right. No, that's essays
that kind
thing.
of yeah.
All right, cool.
It kind of looks like the old school armor and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, Board Uplander Club, Mr. Metaverse or Buck. I like him. UPX Land, that's cool. Metaverse Ventures Entertainment. That's gonna be me, guys. I'm gonna be there with my booth, so come see me. An Upland Guide. So now they're also gonna have panels. I'm sorry. Impact of Communities and Metaventures in Upland, hosted by Too Stupid to Win. Upland Economics, hosted by the Goldsmith. Evolution of Racing in Upland, hosted by Dak. And he's back. Envisioning the Future of the Metaverse and Gaming, hosted by Loyal Doyle.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, good to see his name there. I know he hasn't been around for a bit.
It's a bit of a sausage festival by the look of that.
You said it, but I was thinking it. Yes, it is. I have not been tapped for any of the panels, just saying, but I am very happy for all the men who got theirs. Anyway, they're gonna have
that's interesting. They did say a live city opening. Now there was speculation that they possibly weren't going to do one. So
there's so many rumors going around. The best rumor I've heard was something about Seattle, and then they're gonna release they're not gonna do Australia during Genesis week because everyone expects it.
I was thinking that, like, I was thinking, what could if we take last year as an example, where the mic drop at the end of the event was the picture of Miles and the airplane on the way to Rio. Like, I was trying to think, what's the mic drop for this year? I'm hoping it's not going to be on the way to Australia, because we know that's coming regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope it's something epic, like, Tokyo or Beijing, or I'd love to see an Asian country in the mix. So, or an African country or something like that. I think that'd be really cool.
I would love to see either Tokyo or Seoul.
Seoul, yeah. South Korea, yeah.
That would be amazing. Like, I'm a big K-dramas fan.
The kimchi slap.
They got some really good freaking shows, man.
Yeah. Do they do the same system in Japan? Like, I know I used to get into Japanese dramas for a while there, where
really,
like, Japanese TV series, they go for 12 episodes and that's it. On a very rare occasion, they'll do a series 2 and that'll be another 12 episodes, and that it's not like the American model where they just keep pumping out series after series after series. Yeah. Is that the same with Korea?
I think it is, because I know there's some where I really wish they kept going. There was this
Yeah.
one called Are You Human Too?
Mm.
And you know me with Nick Valentine and the robot. So like anything with like cyborgs and falling in love is my cup of tea. But
Yes.
I also love the C dramas, the China dramas, because they always kind of there was this one. Oh my God, it's on my it was a game I was playing, and then I found out it was an actual show. So
There's a lot less fluff in them because they're restricted to just those few episodes. They really seem to get as much into them as they can.
well, this one had 1 billion episodes.
Oh, really? Wow.
This was from China.
Mm.
And it was so cool. It was like the old emperor, like the empire of China back in the days. And like you kind of got to see how that was. And I don't know, with the consorts and the queen and the emperor.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
What do you
we
think
got
the
here
live
then?
music is going to be?
Oh, it'll be something tragic. Slayer's retired, so I don't really give a fuck.
Mm,
Yeah, it'll be something tragic.
it kind of looks like the oh my God, I can't remember anything. There's something great, a Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead. Wow. They're going to drop acid in everybody's drinks.
Are they
That would
still
be
alive?
entertaining. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? I'm too old to be up to date, as I said on the UDA podcast. Live city opening, yeah, I think that's cool. It'll be interesting to see. Some people have speculated it's going to be Las Vegas expansion. I'm very doubtful that would be the case. Product panel and AMA, that's standard lunch. Exhibitions by the Upland community, that's what you're going to be involved in. Presentations by hackathon finalists. Have they released any information about who the hackathon people are?
No, not yet.
Anything.
I can't wait though, because like I really want to see I promise I'm not high. I really want to see what they do with the FIFA, because they're supposed to like gamify it and give it.
That's something that came through the week too. The world of football. Now you can gamble UpX on it. But did you see the figures?
Yeah, I mean,
bet 1,000 UpX for a 50-50 chance at winning 1,400. That's
like my nickel bets with you. It's
that's
like
laughable.
It's laughable, but like if you lose, you don't get too angry about it. Maybe they're just experimenting to see how it goes, and they'll have different tiers later on.
But the thing is, if you lose one match, you have to win 3 matches to get that money back. So the math don't make no sense. Am I wrong? I am very bad at math.
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
Yeah. If you lose 1,000, you essentially got to win 3 matches. I don't know. But yeah, I just saw the figures and thought, wow, that's POV. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Live music.
Fish. The band Fish.
Fish. Didn't that main singer die of a drug overdose like about 40 years ago?
But it's the same colors.
Oh, I'm thinking of Fishbone, maybe. Fishbone. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not Slayer. It's not Iron Maiden. It's not, it's not Sepultura.
I would love Metallica.
Yeah. It's not Cradle of Filth. It's not any of my black metal. It's
Thank
not.
God. Thank God it's not Cradle. I'd have to be like this the whole time.
Maybe it might be one of my favorite black metal bands, Cheese. It might be Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult. That'd be cool. Look that one up, people. Dark and Nocturne Slaughter Cult.
Global asset search. Now, this is something I really personally wanted, because I would go onto UPX land and I would go through each and every person's thing, right?
Yes.
And now you could just search for whatever. Actually, let's do that together.
Well, yeah, I recently went through this when I was in Japan and I was buying up the cargo van floors. I had to go to each individual store via Apex land and checking prices and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, this is a very much a much needed, much anticipated, much requested feature. Absolutely. So I haven't actually played with this myself yet. So you're going to be teaching me this here.
I
as well.
haven't either. I just heard of it and I was like really excited.
Is it under directory?
Would it be?
Far
Where
right?
is directory?
Yeah. No.
Shops.
Shops. No,
Wait,
it's not in there. We've already had all that. That's bunk. Collections, assets, resources, settings, profile, leaders.
store? No.
No,
Explore?
that's your onboarding thing.
Resources? Assets?
Maybe.
No.
No, that's yours. All right. Well, we'll have to put a pin in that. We'll have to put a pin in that one. Find it later.
Yeah, wow. All right.
Yes, it is good to see that come through. What we need, even what should have been a higher priority than that, is global property search. That would have been a nice addition. If we still, what are we, 4 years in, and we're still, if you try and do a property swap, you got to scroll through your entire list to find it, which is just kind of mind blowing and frustrating.
Let's see. We also
What else do we have?
We have the City Hall, the new City Hall thing.
Yes. Bring that up. This is a good one, this one. Why'd you joink out of it? So yes, I believe there's now city halls in most of the cities are open up.
Mm-hmm. So now you can apply for your... Oh, all right. I get it. I can't click into it, but I can go into it.
Yeah.
All right. So you could do director explorers, executive statues, metaventure applications.
Executive statues.
What did you choose as your executive statue?
I applied for my executive statue about 3 minutes after the announcement came through that executive statues were available. So this was, I believe, in October-ish 2020. I just applied immediately with the first thing that came to mind. Back then, this was before U2U. This is before anything like that. This was way, way back. And I requested a giant pair of golden thongs, or what you call flip-flops.
I'm like, what the hell do you want?
I'm from the Gold Coast. That's like the footwear of choice, Gold Coast, giant thongs. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I nominated, I believe at that time it was the first property I ever minted in Upland, 325 New Street, I believe.
Wow.
However, I've since long sold that property. I probably sold that property 3 years ago, and I certainly don't want a pair of giant thongs anymore. Now, this has been brought up constantly through the years. When are we going to get these statues? Or people like myself have said, hey, I asked for this, but can I change the thing? And the response was, yeah, just send it through to support. So I sent through an alternative to support. Shit, I think that might have been 1 year or 2 years ago. So I don't know where that is. So I'm probably going to reapply. Although, now that I've said that, I think the last time I checked this out, when I pressed select, it said you've already applied. What's the address? Can you give me the exact address on that? I'll pull it up on mobile right now while we're doing it.
What do you mean?
What's the address on that building? I don't know the address. City Hall.
Let's see.
Just click on the property.
1 Dr. Carlton. Be good lit place.
Be good lit place. Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna send. Oh, freaking pop-ups! I hate pop-ups,
Ooh, that's quite an address.
and I can't send to it,
Really?
and I don't have the. Oh, that's weird. Sorry, I can't share screen on mobile. I'll send a thank me later. He's just across the road. Yeah, it's not giving me the triangle like you've got on desktop.
Huh.
That is bizarre. Yeah, there doesn't have any label on it. I can't send to
I
it.
see you.
That's freaking weird. Let me, I'll X out of there and try again. Anyhow, so yes, you can apply for Block Explorers. You can apply for your 3D statue. Did you apply for yours back in the day?
I did. I requested a huge cheese. I think I requested it to go on one of my Midtown Terrace properties.
I don't know. We probably can't see here. No, you can't see. No. All right, I'll screen share.
Look at how beautiful Midtown Terrace looks.
She's pimped out, bruv.
Gorgeous. I can't wait till it's a season I can actually put some stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what property did you get your big block of cheese?
I don't remember exactly which one, but it's definitely one of the ones in here.
Oh, so it's one you still own.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got that top right corner there. Top left corner, didn't you? Yeah, you got 3 up there. Probably up there, I think. They were one of the first ones you had.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't zoink out of. There we go. How about what was the last one? MetaVenture applications. I'm getting ready to use that myself. I'm going to apply for additional Samurai Aquatics factories. I've got 4 more days left, I believe.
Be careful because I applied. I think I got accepted for a showroom. They didn't really tell me.
Yeah.
But I also applied for a factory. And even though everybody else put the same name from factory to showroom, they told me that it was denied because it was the same name as the showroom, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
but I did talk to Lizette, and she's amazing, and she looked into it for me, and it's in the maybe pile. So crossing my fingers. It's been like close to 4 months now since I applied.
That's not good. Yeah, but as I said, I know some people have been waiting more than 7 months. So
yeah.
Yes, I've got no sympathy. I waited 2 years. So
Yeah.
This is what I see when I click on this property. There's no send option. There's no triangle. Maybe I'm missing an update.
Oh, sometimes that happens. Yeah. That happens to me sometimes in the PC version too. If you refresh it or like close it, come back in.
Yeah, I did, and it's the same thing. So I don't know. I'll check it out on the back end. But yeah, if I have the ability to, I'll reapply for my statue. I think I don't know. I'll probably we make our own statues, so I don't know what I'll have to put my thinking cap on.
I would make it like a big samurai surfer.
We've already got one.
We do, but like a big one.
But I don't think their attention to detail will be half as much as what you and D-Tech put into it. So it'd be a big wah, wah, wah. I think the simpler the request is, the better the results, I would imagine. So who knows? You may yet see a giant pair of thongs yet. Coming up somewhere soon in Metaverse. We'll have to wait and see.
Somebody will wake up and be like, what are these thongs on my property?
Yes. All right. I think we've covered enough Upland stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, all I'm doing at the moment is flipping my dividends to USD. I've got a pile of bills to pay, so
isn't it nice? It's nice you can do that in Upland.
Yes, and I just got another probably $1,000 bill yesterday. You might have seen on Facebook, I'm moving a dirt pile around the side of the house that's been sitting there annoying the shit out of me for the last 3 years. So,
Oh, I didn't. I have from morning to noon. I try to get as much work in as I can, so I'm like dark from the computer. So people, if you DM me and I don't get back to you until after like 12, that's why. I'm sorry.
she's as busy getting no money.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some general spillage. Now, I brought this up because we do know that, well, we have the suspicion that there's something music-y, legit-y, or some kind of partnership on the way for Upland. We're speculating that that's the case. So here's potentially an example of something at least along those lines. We've got
Ooh,
here on cointelegraph.com a new frontier for collectibles, preserving music history in NFTs with Legends of Rock.
that sounds cool.
Music memorabilia has entered the digital age as NFTs, giving fans and collectors secure access to rare music history. So talking about NFTs in the music industry usually means protecting artists' copyrights and diversifying their revenue streams, preserving artworks on the blockchain, musicians collaborating with brands and artists, printing event tickets, giving exclusive bonuses to fans in this unique digital format, or engaging with a community. Yep, all of that makes sense. So why not do what the sports industry has done, and quite successfully so, with the NFT memorabilia from it? Oh, this is cool. Do you know what this is? Do you know what they're referring to there?
What are they referring to?
So they're referring there to, you know, the basketball NFTs where they do the iconic shots, or we've got in Upland, we've got the FIFA, the goals and all that. So this sounds like it's doing the same for iconic music events. So that's pretty cool.
The guitar behind the head.
Yeah.
I would get that, definitely.
Jimi Hendrix burning his guitar or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. Queen at Rock in Rio or whatever it is. Yeah. The sports memorabilia market reached $2.6 billion in 2022 and is expected to hit $227 billion in 10 years. Holy shit. The collectibles include sports trading cards, video clips of popular moments. So, yeah, that's what I was referring to. Autographs, accessories, and many other things that can be in both physical and digital formats. The same can be said for music memorabilia, with rare vintage photos that already exist, sometimes only in unknown archives that are hard to access. Pardon me. So yeah, that's cool. This was the case with Legends of Rock, which was acquired by Globe Entertainment and Media back in 2020. The collection, which had been owned by British photo agencies and archives for decades, was then shipped to Las Vegas, packed in standard postal containers. It looked unlikely to contain anything of high value or importance. It was a total surprise for Klaus Moller, CEO of Global Entertainment and Media. We should have went like this. Klaus Moller.
That was good though. We did it at the same time.
Yes, to find some 8 million vintage, never before seen photos of the biggest rock stars: Queen, Deep Purple, Elvis, the Beatles, Frank Zappa, the Police, Bruce Springsteen, Nirvana, the Who, and many more. The pictures were taken on stage and during other official moments, but also backstage in a more relaxed atmosphere. The photos were made between the 1960s and early 1980s, with some artists already in the spotlight and others just beginning their prolific careers. It's never ending. Every day we're finding the craziest stuff, said old mate about the archive. That is cool. To make the collection accessible worldwide, Globe Entertainment and Media partnered with Mad World in an innovative Web3 and digital asset ecosystem backed by Animoca brand.
Wow, good fun, Ben. Animoca. Holy smoly. Now, that would be crazy if we had access to like this, because it's in the same like investment company. I had a thought. So like, you know, I watch a lot of porn stars. That's porn, PAWN. And I was wondering like what the future is going to be in regards to bringing like NFTs, rare NFTs in for them to kind of look over instead of actual tangible items.
Yes. Yes, this is very interesting. So, yes, it goes on to say, along with the physical slides, a professional quality, high resolution digital image of the original slides is provided to the buyer as a digital certificate of authenticity. NFT, this helps prove ownership and guarantees authenticity. In addition, in the event of a future secondary sale, it allows the buyer to conveniently and securely transfer ownership.
Like in Pawn Stars.
Yep.
Because they're always asking for the COA and like, what is
Yep.
the backstory and this, and that. So imagine bringing your Bored Ape or something or a rock star thing like this. I'm like, what can you give me for it?
Yes, that sounds pretty cool. Now, this event has been run. It says here, want to learn more about Legends of Rock NFTs and real-world memorabilia? Join the live discussion with Pete Laverick, the head of Legends of Rock, on May 3rd at 2 p.m. So that's been done and dusted. There's a link there to go to the YouTube channel. It's probably recorded on there. So, no, this is really cool. Well, I said at the start that maybe this is an indication of something that might tie in, but, you know, Animoca Brands is in the mix, so who knows?
That's exciting. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see on this one. Now, this next article, you found this one, and this appears to be a whole can of worms.
Yeah, this scared me. Like I read it a few times. I'm dying to hear your take on it. Ex-OpenSea manager convicted in NFT insider trading. Like, how do you
clicked on the wrong thing there?
How do you do insider trading with NFTs?
Well, if you know, maybe it's like Bored Ape Yacht Club, and if you know they're releasing, didn't they have like additional ones like zombie apes or something like that? Or if you know there's some news that's going to impact
other ones and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Normally, insider trading as it relates to crypto has usually been about people knowing ahead of time, like say,
bad news or good news, when to sell, when to buy. I get that.
Fun, and not just that. Like, it was always back in the day, like a coin was going to be listed on Binance, and if you could get some information in the back channels that was on the way before the big pump came, that that's you're talking. Potentially, if you got the money to spend, you're talking millions upon millions that you could make in that. So,
yeah, but how does that go with NFTs? Like, everybody knows when the drop date's going to be, unless the drop date was a secret. That's the only thing I can.
Let's find out.
Right.
A former product manager at NFT marketplace OpenSea was convicted on Wednesday of fraud and money laundering for using inside knowledge of which assets would be featured on its homepage. Oh, okay, so yeah, that makes sense. So that's like getting listed on Binance. If
so
you're going to be,
which ones are the best ones?
Well, if
out of the drop,
if it's like, say you've got your project on OpenSea, it's a bit of an underground project, and the floor's quite low. But if you know in 2 weeks that's going to be listed on the front homepage of OpenSea, that's clearly there's going to be a pump involved in that. So if you then gobble up all the floor ahead of time, knowing that that's going to be the case, yeah, that gets greasy. So Nathaniel Chastain was accused of buying NFTs he had decided to feature on the OpenSea website.
That part he decided to feature. The other part I don't think is insider trading, but this part, like, he was actually creating the value at this point.
Well, it's still insider trading. Imagine you worked at OpenSea and you said, "Hey Ben, they're going to feature such and such a project in 2 weeks. The floor's only 0.0001 Ethereum." Well, I'd go along and gobble up the floor, and then it gets featured on the OpenSea front line. I make a boatload of money and send you some. Thanks for the tip. That's definitely insider trading.
Yeah, that is insider trading. Oh yes. My God.
So yeah, but for him to do that directly, wow.
Directly, yeah.
So he made more than $50,000 in illegal profit in what federal prosecutors in Manhattan described as the first insider trading case involving digital assets. I don't know about that. Who's the McAfee? Did you follow McAfee's story way back in the day?
All I remember was he was a crazy Crazy
Oh,
man.
he's a crazy, but he was pumping bags on purpose and getting paid to pump bags and all sorts of stuff. There was
They
all
caught
sorts
him
of shady
finally,
stuff.
right? Like he was living in a raft on the ocean or something.
Oh, there's a great series on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, you should
Oh, I
definitely
gotta
check it
see
out.
that. I love
It
those
is wild.
documentaries.
Yes.
I saw the one with the lady, the blood girl.
Yeah, you keep talking about. I don't know what that one is.
Oh, like she created the first thing where all you had to do is give a little bit of blood and they could.
Ah, yes.
That
And it
was
was all a big
great.
scam.
Yes, that was so good.
And she made billions. Yeah, classic. So yes, although this case involved trading in novel crypto assets, there was nothing particularly innovative about his conduct. It was fraud. Yeah, straight up fraud. The charges against Chastain announced last June were the first in a series of high-profile cases related to digital assets launched by Williams' office last year. Yada, yada, yada. Chastain had pleaded not guilty. His lawyer, David Miller, said following the verdict that the legal team would evaluate our options. How could you possibly plead not guilty?
I know. They must have had some sort of like deal for him to take.
Here we go. Chastain's lawyers argued that OpenSea, the world's largest NFT marketplace, did not treat knowledge of what NFTs would be featured on its homepage as confidential information.
See, that's another thing. Like, if it wasn't mentioned somewhere that this is secret, this is not meant to be publicly announced. Like, that's a big thing. Like, that's why I'm kind of like you know me, I'm devil's advocate. Like, I don't like when you see stuff like this, but at the same time, if it's legal and it didn't, there wasn't anything said that he couldn't do it, then I don't know. Like, I can't see that he did any fault.
Yeah, well, it says here in quotes from the lawyer, you can't hold Nate to a standard that didn't exist.
Exactly.
Nobody told Nate that he couldn't use or share that information. Yeah, if he didn't sign, I guess it'll come down to the lawyers to check his contract and, whatever non-disclosures or whatever he did sign. But yeah, that's interesting. Prosecutor.
Oh, that next part you're gonna read is good.
Oh yeah, prosecutor Alison Nichols said Chastain used anonymous OpenSea accounts to make the illegal trades. Wow, that's
why like this article had me like this was a great story because it's like, okay, I'm on his side, I'm not on his side, I'm on his side, I'm not on his side.
Yeah, no, mate. He hid what he was doing. Absolutely. Nichols told the jury. Yeah, he knew that he had violated OpenSea's confidentiality agreement. Okay, well, if they did have a confidentiality agreement in place, and especially using anonymous accounts, that's your toast, buddy.
Wow.
So, what have we got? Set Chastain's sentencing date for August 22nd. All right, well, we'll definitely have to follow up on this one. So
I heard in another article that he can get up to 60 years.
He won't get 60 years. What do you steal 50 grand's worth?
I know. Like, sometimes they like to make like an example.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't want to be the scapegoat that sets the standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was quite the roller coaster. But yeah, to do that under anonymous accounts, you knew exactly what you were doing, buddy.
Oh, that was a great article, though. That really got like.
Yes, great find, that one. All right, a couple more to wrap up on. We'll finish up nice and early today.
Yeah, the first two, the first one was amazing too. Oh my god, we're so good.
Well, I might severely disappoint you with these last two. We'll see how we go.
No, as long as it's not about Zuck. Metaverse, how we got here and where we go to next. Marketers should pay particular attention to progression of the metaverse as it's set to change the way society does. Yeah, I totally agree with this. The way society does business and functions.
Yeah, we've been banging on about that aspect since probably the very first episodes of this show. So yeah, absolutely. So what does it say here? Although the infrastructure of the metaverse is still being established, companies and brands are taking the leap into this new world. We've seen many changes in our society over the last few years, but nothing holds potential for change quite like the metaverse. Yeah, we talked about that last week, didn't we? You know, the tie-in with AI and metaverses. It's like, I believe it's going to be the next massive kind of evolution. You know, we had the world before the internet, we had the world after the internet. I think it's going to be the same. The world before AI and the metaverse, the world after AI and the metaverse. So I have to wait and see. Zuck the Cuck, we'll skip that. VR, AR, smart glasses, social media, and cryptocurrency have existed as separate yet related ideas until now. Yeah, this is the big part here.
The metaverse combines these moving parts to create a powerful tool for businesses and marketers alike.
Yes. Keep going.
Normal physical boundaries do not limit this world. Therein lies its appeal for those looking for a more global reach. How has the concept of the metaverse evolved and where is it going? Let's find out.
Let's find out, Cheese. Let's find out from, let's see what Wilson Lau has to say here. What's his very biased opinion? Take it away.
Wilson Lau?
Yeah, that's his name, the guy who wrote the article.
Oh, okay. How virtual reality got its start with online gaming. The concept of virtual reality and augmented reality has been steadily leaked into the mainstream culture over the last 20 years. The gaming industry was the first to take advantage of it and integrate it into different platforms. This is true. Games like Pokemon Go and Fortnite 2017 revolve around using these technologies to connect people through their apps. Ingress was actually one of the first two as well. Do you remember Ingress?
No, I don't.
Oh, it was more technical and the learning curve was a lot more crazy. But yeah, Pokemon Go is one of the largest, most successful augmented reality games in the industry. When its popularity exploded in 2016, it heralded a new era of augmented reality's integration into our everyday lives. AR integrates the digital and physical worlds into one. Fortnite, a virtual reality game using avatars to represent players, lets people fight against each other in real time and attend events held in that particular metaverse. These two highly popularized games helped introduce society to the concept of extended reality. Oh,
I've never heard of that before.
Me neither.
XR, extended reality. Yeah, it says
Wow.
extended or mixed reality refers to all events that combine some element of what is real with what is virtual. This includes augmented reality and virtual reality forms. XR creates a more immersive experience for users and blurs the boundaries between reality and what is generated by technology. This blend of realities creates infinite possibilities for integrating different technologies to create a more holistic and immersive user experience. Yeah, that's where we think all of this is headed. From the mundane, we've talked about the mundane, you know, bureaucracy sort of things like getting your driver's license to, you know, arts, entertainment, all of the rest of dating, everything associated with that. Is the average consumer ready for the metaverse? At the moment, no. I would say no. What do you think? Average consumer? But we're getting close.
Most halfway.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say the vast majority of people that I talk to or relate to in the real world, they have no clue yet about NFTs, the metaverse, even cryptocurrency is something they heard about and they'll say, well, isn't that a big scam or something? You know?
Well, the reason why I say most is because I feel like people are in it, but they just don't realize they are.
They don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just checked it out. Did Pokemon Go get its maps from Ingress? And the answer is yes. They said the maps in Ingress were basis for the maps, gyms, and Pokeshops in Pokemon Go. And it turned out that using the Ingress app can actually help you track down those elusive Pokemon that are hiding in leafy spirals or always seem to be 3 steps away. Ingress was amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's all right. So, yeah, the metaverse will push marketing, immersive society deeper into tech, digital innovation and immersion. Yeah, I mean, we looked at some of the glasses, the, you know, AR, VR glasses that are on the market already last week's show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once influencers start getting out and about with those, you know, that'll start to change things as well. According to a survey of approximately 9,000 consumers around the world conducted by Accenture in late 2022, more than 70% of consumers intend to use the metaverse in non-gaming environments in the next 2 to 5 years. However, what consumers want from the metaverse in gaming and non-gaming environments could be very different. According to the survey, non-gaming users focus less on the technologies and more on what they can get out of them. Yeah, I don't want to have to line up at what you call the DMV for 3 hours to go and get my license, but I would kind of line up virtually and speak to some kind of AI bot to go through the system and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a non-gaming example. I would like to, all of the online shopping that I do, I would like some kind of gamification, NFTification elements put into that, rewards, what do you call it? Twinning, where if I buy something in the real world, I get the digital equivalent, things like that. So, yeah. In other words,
is that the word for it? Twinning? I like that.
No, that's.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at you with your
turd that fell out of my brain. Yes. In other words, consumers will come to the metaverse when they can get value for their real lives, such as helping them connect with friends and family, shop and finish certain tasks in less time. Yeah, regular consumers look at the metaverse as a new way to help them do what they've always wanted or needed to do. Yes. Yeah, I think it's about making your in real life obligations easier and making your entertainment platforms more deeply engaging. Things like that. We've talked about attending concerts virtually or attending meet and greets virtually, getting digital goods and all that sort of stuff. So lots of ways that can be done. All right, your turn.
The metaverse is closer than ever before. In fact, it's already here, Ben.
That's what you were saying.
According to a report from McKinsey and Company, the metaverse can generate $5 trillion in revenue for businesses by 2030. Jesus. Yeah. Well, even though the metaverse is still in its early stages, there are plenty of opportunities to seize today. Metaverse native companies such as Crypto Motors make money from building and selling digital assets for the metaverse. Well, what about us, Ben? That's what we do.
Metaverse native companies such as Samurai Aquatics and Decor make money from building and selling digital assets from the metaverse.
How can we become like Crypto Motors?
Well, we already are.
But I want to be making for more.
Morecheese's Pixel Palace. Coming soon. Yes.
Hopefully.
I've got that video ready to go too, by the way.
I know. I can't wait to use it. That's going to be great.
They're ready to go live. Yes.
Traditional companies are also increasingly leveraging the metaverse to add value for their customers, as they should. Real estate developer One Sotheby's has a project called Meta Residence One, which builds a house along with its digital replica and sells both the digital house and the physical house together. Twinning. The owner of the twin houses will be able to greet guests in both the real world and the metaverse. Holy shit. Yeah. I like that. I like what if somebody else owns that? Like what metaverse are they doing this digital replica of?
I don't know, but it's a weird one. Like in Upland, we buy other people's houses and there's I don't know how many properties are in Upland. Millions, is there? There's got to be millions by now. There's millions of people's houses that other people own digitally. Like, we own their land. Like, I own a whole bunch of people's land all over the place. It'd be weird for them to jump into Upland and, hey, who's this BEN68 dude that owns my land?
Yeah. Like,
that's kind of weird.
What kind of metaverse do they put these digital houses in? I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
The owner of the twin... even if the metaverse commerce may not be a good fit for your business, the potential of using the metaverse as an advertising and marketing channel is endless, which is true.
Yeah, absolutely. As average consumers are looking for value and enhanced experience from the metaverse, it's important for marketers to think beyond the technologies and instead focus on how to better fulfill the customer's needs in the virtual world. Yep. Oh, here we go. ChatGPT. Yeah, AI. We covered this last week. While the news about the metaverse has been overshadowed recently by generative AI, most notably ChatGPT from OpenAI, the development and adoption of the metaverse are marching on. In fact, the rise of ChatGPT will help make the metaverse an even more vibrant place. Yes, that's exactly what we outlined last week.
Yeah.
AI is perfectly placed to be a very impactful companion to the whole concept of metaverse. And, you know, we're a bit disheartened that it seemed like Upland was poo-pooing the idea. Haven't heard any more back from that, so hopefully that's not the case. Maybe we'll get some news about that in Genesis Week. Who knows? Maybe if you're at Genesis Week and you're on the AMA panel, maybe that's one of your questions. How does Upland going to integrate AI moving forward or something like that? Let's see if we can get the real goss, not just some of the rumors that we're kicking about. So I don't think we need to go into this too much. We covered that all last week's show. That's cool. What to expect from the metaverse next? Moving forward, you can expect more metaverse-ready hardware to come to everyday consumers. Apple has invested in augmented reality, virtual reality headsets, yada, 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 tech giants, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Well, they say other tech giants like Meta, Google, Amazon. Amazon is actually currently working on projects such as Avalon the Druids. I know Amazon is a big investor in there, and Avalon uses their servers for their game.
Yep.
So I think Amazon is the smart one, while they're kind of doing it in your face yet privately.
But isn't it? It's like Apple too is secretly developing all this. Remember, we covered they employed a whole bunch of people and have a whole bunch of patents, but they're not out there. It's not like Zuck and Meta that they're out there promoting it. They're getting ahead of themselves, and then they're doing their ass, losing billions.
Oh, look at this. On the business fronts, brands like Burberry, Gucci already advertise and sell virtual goods, blah, blah, blah. Restaurant chains like McDonald's and Panera Bread have already filed trademark applications for their businesses in the metaverse.
Yeah, I think we covered some of the McDonald's trademark applications several months ago. So yeah, it's just the way it's headed. It's just the way it's headed.
I haven't emailed them about Upland in a while. Maybe I should start doing it again.
Maybe you should. Yes. So, okay. So we know this is where it's all headed. But what are some actual examples? And this brings us to our last topic to cover. Universal Studios, the Metaverse, and the future of theme parks. Now, I just got back from Universal Studios Japan, so might be uniquely placed to offer some insights into the possibilities. Take it away.
Let's see. Universal Studios theme parks are constantly evolving to keep up with the changing technology. And one of the most exciting recent developments has been the integration of metaverse technologies into Universal's attractions.
Yes. Now, when we went to Universal Studios had their own app, I believe. I don't know. Maya was doing it all, and she could log in. Each of the kids had a profile. They bought this special little Mario freaking watch thing, and that every time they went on a ride or they did a challenge, they'd put it on this thing and it'd give them little points, and they'd unlock little badges and all
so
that.
It's like a POAP.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
And
I love that.
She could check virtually the wait times on any of the rides. You could, because the Super Mario World in Universal Studios is so popular, they limit the amount of people that can actually go in there at any one point in time. So you would have to book in online on the app to say, okay, we're going to go there from 11 o'clock or something like that. So it's already heavily digitized in kind of Web 2 app sort of situation. So, yes.
Did you get any of those people who didn't know what the hell they were doing and were like, I didn't know I had to do this on an app?
Oh, there was heaps of people like at where you walk up the Super Mario World where they check if you had the right QR code or whatever it is. There was heaps of people there blowing up.
I could totally see that.
Yeah,
That's
and
hilarious.
even the Super Mario restaurant had the same thing, but they were still using an old school ticketing system there. Like you couldn't just go and line up to get into the restaurant. It's way too popular. There's too many people want to get in. You had to line up to get a ticket that said what time you can come back and line up.
Wow.
So we got there at 9:30, I think, to get a ticket to say that we could line up at 1:30 to actually go in the restaurant. And That's like old school ticketing system. So, you know, you can imagine a future where that's all fully digitized, you know, AR, VR, where you've got your glasses on, you get a pop up, okay, you've got a 30-minute warning to be on the next ride, or your lunch booking is available in the next 20 minutes or something like that.
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, it says here the metaverse promises to merge digital and virtual worlds, and theme parks like Universal are using a combination of VR and AR to create magical experiences for guests. Let's take a look at how Universal Studios is entering the metaverse and what their latest attractions mean for the future of theme parks.
Ooh,
Take it away. Give me a break.
Mario Kart gets the metaverse treatment. At Universal Studios in Japan, one of the most popular rides is Mario Kart Koopa's Challenge. This ride takes place inside a replica of Bowser's castle. At the entrance to ride, you get to put on Mario's iconic red cap, as well as an augmented reality headset attached to the cap. Wow. Did you guys do that?
Yeah, that's not true.
Uh-oh.
Well, I talked about this when I came back, the first Whine and Cheese show, and I specifically mentioned this ride. We waited, it was well over an hour. It might have been an hour and a half. By the time we went into the entrance of Bowser's Castle, by the time we went into the entrance to the time we were actually on the ride, was probably about an hour and a half. Now, I've been to Universal Studios Japan way back in the day and lining up to go on the Jurassic Park ride, and we lined up for 3 hours, and you were in one of those corral things that go back and forwards like this, and you just do not move. You're sitting in the sweltering heat, and it's excruciating to sit there. What really impressed me about the Mario Kart one is we still waited for a crap load of time, but you were always moving. They still had a kind of system like that, but you would get to this next kind of part, and there would be, you know, it was really cool inside the castle, as you can imagine. Like you've probably seen on Facebook all the pictures I put up, but you know, there's Bowser's library, and there's all these cool books, or there's all these different areas. But you know, you get to one point and you watch a little video, and it's just the way they did it. You were always moving, so I could very easily see, like you're talking about POAPS and things like that, where you know, if you get to this part, you unlock this NFT,
Yes.
or you get this perk, or so it's very easy to see that. And yeah, the headset. You didn't get, oh, okay, at the entrance to the ride. Yeah, okay. So when you get in these different areas, as I said, you get to this part and you think, are we there yet? And the kind of excitement builds up, and you get to these massive big doors, and they hand out a big Mario cap, a plastic Mario cap. So you put that on and you start getting excited. Oh, we must be getting close. You're actually still miles away from the actual freaking ride.
Wow.
But it's just part of the process, you know? You're
Yeah.
not stuck in that freaking line, as I said. So, yeah, eventually you have to go down all these stairs. Like it gets to a point where you go down all these stairs and it starts getting really, the excitement starts building. And then, yeah, once you actually sit on the cart, there is a headset that you clip up and it secures via magnets to your Mario hat. And then you're looking through the headset, and it's kind of like a shooty thing. You know, you're racing around shooting. Now, I made the mistake of taking my glasses off, thinking it's a ride. You got to take your glasses off. So
No, everything is simulated.
I'm on this freaking ride with this headset on. Can't see a freaking thing. I'm just shooting things blindly. And
did you
yeah,
kill your kids so you shoot their cars?
well, it's funny. See, you're on each cart has 4 people, and you're on a team, and everyone has to get 100 coins. And if you get 100 coins, you beat Bowser or whatever the hell it is. I forget what it is. So, but I was the jerk who only got 30 coins because I couldn't see what the hell I was doing. So my kids were blowing up. Dad!
Dad, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
freaking hilarious. Oh
But
my
yeah,
God.
it's a physical ride. So it's not like we also went on the Minions ride. Now that was a ride where you're in a capsule, but you're looking at a big massive screen,
Yeah.
and you're not moving. It's just kind of moving around.
Yeah,
And
it's
Kira was
like
funny.
yeah.
Kira started freaking out because she kind of hates scary rides, and she started freaking out. And I said, Kira, look. And I pointed behind us. You could see the wall. And I said,
Yeah.
we're not actually moving. As soon as she saw we weren't moving, she just completely relaxed and had a good time.
Yeah.
Maya, on the other hand, she got motion sickness and was throwing up for about the next hour
Oh no.
afterwards.
Well, I'm really scared of rides too. So that's why I loved Universal Studios, because it's like simulation. You could pretend you're on it, and you know, and you don't have to actually go on something that might, you know, kill you if it
Yeah, well,
derails.
the Mario Kart was like a blend of that. You are still on a physical, you're on a kind of roller coaster thing that does move. It spins around, it goes up and down, but
Oh yeah,
you're
yeah.
kind of,
It moves in place, but it doesn't
yeah.
move like forward.
Yes, yes. It moves around. You can see that, you know, you're going through like you're going through a tunnel that does have physical items in there. You know, there's all sorts of cool Mario stuff, but plus you're also viewing the virtual reality aspect of it as well. So
when I went to Universal Studios, I would think I was 14, and it was Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Right. And we had to stop Biff from stealing the almanac or something. And we were in the Back to the Future ride, and it was so freaking cool. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. So what does it say here? Yeah. Then you experience a physical ride that is merged with digital elements. For example, you shoot targets by looking at them through your AR headset, and even compete with other guests as you're playing the game. Yeah. Unless you forget to put your glasses on, and then you are a loser. King Kong roars in 3D. The King Kong 360 3D experience is an attraction included in the studio tour at Universal Studios in Hollywood. This ride takes you on an immersive journey through a recreated version of Skull Island. That'd be cool. All guests put on 3D glasses to see the artistic and engaging way. That kind of aspect, the 3D glasses, that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Rides. The attraction begins with the pre-show experience, where visitors are introduced to the backstory of King Kong, yada, yada, yada. The attraction is also notable for its use of sound and special effects, including wind and water elements. So yeah, that's a 4D experience, that one. Once you get squirted with water and blown by blasts of wind.
Did they have that one ride when you went to Universal called the Earthquake, where like you're in a train or something, and you're like, it simulates like an earthquake happening, and then you actually ride into this train station, and the street falls down on you, and like things crash, like the cars crash down, and it was extremely awesome.
No, I didn't see that one, but we kind of stuck to, we were just following where the kids wanted to go. I don't know how I'd like that. I've been in an actual earthquake in Japan, and that was the big one that caused the nuclear disaster. So I don't think I would actually like that one, because earthquakes, they're fucking terrifying.
Yeah, because I was in Goldman Sachs at the time when I experienced my worst earthquake. It was actually not in New York, it was down in South Carolina, but it moved all the way up to New York, and I was in one of the tall buildings, and what happened was the tremors, we felt it, and the building actually swayed, and the doors, which were electronic, would open up and shut, and I'm like, what the hell's happening? And then my chair would actually roll back and then roll forward, and I'm like, holy, like, and then being where we were in New York, like this was right after the whole 9/11 scare, right? So I'm like, what the hell do I do? I looked down the office, and we were in 200 West Street at the time. This is when we went to the new building, and we were right diagonal across the street from the old Twin Tower site. And you saw like these floors held about anywhere from 600 to 900 people. They were the size of football fields. So all I saw was a whole bunch of people running my way, running down the stairs, just panicking, and I'm just like sitting there, I'm like in shock, and this one guy grabs me, he's like, what are you doing? Follow us. So I'm like, okay, and I get up and I follow them outside, and there was a specific place right by the West Side Highway that we would all meet in case stuff like this happened, but we weren't supposed to leave the building, like unless we were instructed to. And they were like, guys, like, you should not have left the building. Like, this was a
Panic
freaking
mode.
earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody panicked.
Yeah.
Everybody
It
panicked.
is a very weird feeling. I know when I first moved to Japan, I lived in an apartment building, and yeah, I'd been through a few earthquakes there, like minor ones, but you just feel the whole building kind of sway, and it's weird to explain if you've never been in one. It feels weird in your brain,
Yeah.
like you can't process what's happening. And oftentimes, like even when we lived with Maya's mum and dad, which was like a 2-story house, we'd be sitting there having dinner, and you'd just see the lights start to move, or you'd see the curtains move,
Oh,
and
wow.
like a couple of seconds later, your brain feels it's like you just got off a boat, and you got that kind of weird motiony feeling. But the big one that happened, we were in the second floor of the house when that happened, and that just felt like somebody was pushing the house, like just pushing the whole house
Yeah.
over and letting go, and pushing the whole house over and letting go. It wasn't a swaying feeling. It was, violent. And we were
Yeah, it was-
miles away from the actual earthquake. So I can't imagine what it was like to
We were
be really close
states.
to
We
it.
were like way ahead of it,
Yeah.
but like it was a huge one, and
Yeah.
the tremors hit us like, and I wouldn't have even noticed it if I didn't hear the doors, because I guess I was just so like into my work. And then when my chair started going, that's when I felt it, and I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Your brain takes a minute to work out what's actually happening here. You can't.
Yeah, I would have
it's
never guessed earthquake, never, because New
such
York
a
really
queer
doesn't
feeling.
get them. Yeah,
Yes.
I think the worst
Yeah,
New York gets is hurricanes. That's it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't miss about Japan is earthquakes. We very rarely get them here in Australia because we're smack bang in the middle of a tectonic plate. Anyhow, we're wildly off topic. It's the geography podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to wrap up on those theme parks, yeah, it's places like Universal Studios, they're already heavily leading in that direction of becoming digitized. And yeah, I can very easily see the next evolution of that becoming more immersive, more involved with NFTs and POAPs and all of the rest of it. So yeah.
I love the idea of POAPs though. Like for me, I wish like I know we have the NFT that we only get when going to Genesis Week, and that is like a POAP, the Block Explorer.
Yep.
So that's cool. But I can't like bring it outside of Upland.
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe that will be one of the announcements too. They're talking about the Ethereum bridge and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah.
That would be cool.
It's going to be tricky. We have very high expectations for the announcements that are coming.
They better not disappoint us. They better not. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will, to be quite honest.
I mentioned last night in the Upland General. Yeah, this Genesis week we need fodder, not fluff.
Yeah.
Last year we got a lot of fluff.
There was a lot of fluff.
This year we need some fodder. We need some concrete kind of happenings. So wait and see. Watch this space.
Wait and see.
On that note, I think we've tapped out for the week.
Yeah, I think we did good.
We did all right. If you've stuck around with us up to this point, give yourself a pat on the back. Well done to you.
Also, I have a challenge. I'm working on some cool art. It's not well, you'll see. It's very cool. And if you can, here's a challenge, and it's going to be you get an art piece, and everybody can win if all you have to do is do the challenge. Put an image that you liked and subscribed to. You like this episode and you subscribe to the Whine and Cheese YouTube, and you get it. That's it. And put this in MVE contests channel. Okay. Put the image in there, and that's all you have to do.
Sounds good. Speaking of POAPs, are you going to put any kind of NFT together for people that might come and visit you in the booth?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's
legendary. I'm also going to have raffles. I'm going to have where you can get free merchandise. I'm also going to print out artwork that you'll get as well. There's going to be so much there, like so much.
You're already a busy cheese, and it sounds like you're about to get even busier.
Yeah, it's all right. I love this stuff. I love it. And if I didn't have a great team, it would be miserable. But look at your face. I have a great team.
Absolutely. All right, get us out of it.
All right. Stay fresh, cheese bags, and see you in Vegas.
Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Talk wine and cheese, motherfucker. Go ahead, get your pinky up. Go ahead, get your pinky up.
You let fire samurai ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get up, get right. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. You let fire samurai ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. You let fire samurai ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get up, get right. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. You let fire samurai ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.
Time for wine and cheese. Wine and cheese. 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 Time for wine and cheese.
Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the Metaverse, do ya? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready, sorry. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the Metaverse, do ya? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We've got saunas to fire you up and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.